to the More Auto Solutions YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the E90 M3 versus F80 because now F80s are officially a 10-year-old chassis. The first one was made in 2014 to 18, and then the F82 made it all the way from 19 to 20 before the G Series platform came out. Now, main differences are obviously going to be complete body style change, and then obviously this particular vehicle has a 4.0 V8 versus a 3.0 inline twin turbo S55 versus the S65. Now, other things that have changed in comparison of them is actually this wheelbase grew about 2 inches. So this was 108.6 to 110.7 on the wheelbase. So you do get a little bit of a longer wheelbase, which does change your driving dynamics just very slightly, not too particularly much, thank God, because it's still a really fun car to drive. So you do have a small, slightly shorter wheelbase here. Now, this is the biggest change that a lot of people don't know. The F80 is actually lighter than the E90. So the E90 weighs in at a solid 3,726 pounds average is what BMW put out, and the F80 came in at a solid 3,595. Now, what does that weight come from? Could it be from the engine? Could it be from the overall chassis itself? If I had to bet, it's probably just better engineering on the chassis. Now, the other big upgrade is you do get fixed calipers on an F80 versus an E90. So E90 still has a sliding style caliper. You get fixed calipers. You have a 4-piston up front and you have a 2-piston in the rear. Both offered a version of EDC. So EDC is your electronic dampening control. You had to get that as an option on both cars. This car is not a comp. This car is a comp. It came with it. This car had to be option with it for the M Performance suspension. Now, what else would you look at when buying one of these cars? The biggest thing I would look at is the extended leather option on the interior because it does give you more plush and it does look more refined. Now, the biggest upgrade, honestly, besides the engine and overall interior, is the seats. The seats are really, really nice and compliant and do have lumbar support in the non-comp cars on the F80 versus the E90. The E90s were actually, in my opinion, just kind of an evolution of your normal E90 seat. You did get a lot more adjustment in it, but the overall design was pretty much the same. Now, they did change the steering wheel slightly from the E90 to the F80. It is a little bit fatter in the E90. The F80 is a little bit smaller. This one has an aftermarket steering wheel in it, so it's not a really good example for that. But you could also get a carbon roof in the four-door car on the F-Series platform. You could not get it in the E-Series platform, only the E92. Now, other main differences are going to be, obviously, these came with a variety of different wheels from the factory. They do fit a much wider tire. So they had 18s that had a I believe it was a 255 front and 75 rear, and then 19s were pretty much what everybody optioned on these cars. You very rarely see the 18-inch setup. The 19-inch setup was almost the same sizes from the comp versus non-comp wheels, so you don't really get a difference in size there. Now, other options to note is in the F-Series platform, you could get an LED headlight upgrade option, which is probably one of the biggest upgrades you can get for overall looks and usability. Now, what are the similarities of these two vehicles? Both four doors, which is cool. Both have a hump. The hump was made in the E-Series platform because of the intake manifold for the S65. There is a hump in the F-Series as well. This was done, ironically, not just for look, but for pedestrian standards for European. So, more you know. Now, other than that, you can see the mirrors do give you that kind of Ganador style. They kept that over. You did get the same marker light in the front fenders, and you do carry almost the exact same body line down the side of the car. The only difference is the F-Series is wider, and so you do get more of that extruded body line there as well. Now, that's pretty much about it when it comes to comparisons. These cars are both really nice. They both serve their own purpose, and now that these have become 10 years old, you can get into them at more of an affordable price. You're talking mid-30s, which is really crazy and awesome to see that you can get such a really good stout car, because the S55 is actually a really reliable platform, and they did carry over the DCC trans. It's the exact same trans in this car, so you can get them both in the same 6-speed, same DCC trans. The only difference you have here is going to be the engine platform. So besides the looks, I mean, overall it's still the same formula. It's still both moderately lightweight from today's standards, and you do get a little bit more room on the interior because of the extended wheelbase. As you can see here versus here, and I do have a child seat in the back of my E90 because this is my E90. This is my friend Keegan's F80 M3. But that's it, guys. That's a quick little overview, and I hope you have a great day.